so we're getting packed up here on Spencer Stream in the rain. I think we're pretty well packed up, and then we're going to start to make our way back out and around, and I think head over toward this town called Jackman. And there's a whole bunch of unbroken wilderness over there near Jackman. It's right up next to the Canadian border. And so that's going to be our plan today. We're just going to take it real nice and slow, see what we can see. There's a couple spots along the way where we're going to be able to hit service and do emails and phone calls and some of those types of things. No scheduled calls today. So that's the plan. We're going to get into it. All right, saying goodbye to another great campsite on Spencer Stream. Gonna make our own way on around. Here comes the rain again. We are getting a little bit of rain here in the north woods of Maine. This is like more than was showing up on the forecast, and we definitely got some wind too. Might make some of these back roads kind of interesting and slick. So we'll see how that goes. We're easing our way around, as you can see there on the map, and we're going to take this route that the two hunters yesterday that gave me the ptarmigan showed me to take on the Topo Atlas. So I'm going to do that. Kind of adventure and explore around here. Just kind of taking my time today. Kind of exploring these forests. It's gonna be interesting to see what I see today. I think most animals are probably gonna be like hiding with this much of a storm. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I mean, this is no big deal here. There's lots of little trees that are down across the road because of the rain. I'm just wondering if we're going to get a bigger one down and end up out there with the axe clearing a tree off the road at some point today. This may make for a long day, we'll see. That little Sven saw, bow saw, comes in pretty handy. Got another tree down, this one's bigger. So, a little tired. That one was quite a bit bigger. Had to cut it into 3 or 4 different sections. If I'd had to do that with the axe though, that would have taken a while. And so I'm really glad I have that little bow saw and put it in. Let me pull up here so you can get a feel for the diameter of that tree. It's not huge, but it's not small. I don't know if I can get it on video. Make sure I don't hit the side of my truck. I can show you this one here. So it's a pretty decent sized tree. 6.5 inches in diameter. I don't think these came down last night. I think these came down in that wind you just saw a little bit earlier in the video. Because last night it didn't storm that hard. All right, I'm gonna drive a little bit and rest a little bit. State of Maine, Public Reserve Land, Dead River Unit. Gonna make our way around, if I can get the focus there. This Flagstaff Lake, it's all back roads here for miles. And that is just absolutely gorgeous. Reminds me a little bit of like northern Canada or Alaska. Like up on the tundra. That's just spectacular though. Get another good long shot across here. Look at that. That's special. Okay, I think this probably puts a end to this route. I do not want to be trying to clear all that with a bow saw. That's a full day, easy. If you could even cut through some of that with that bow saw. Some of those are 12, 15 inches in diameter. So we're gonna have to backtrack out and find a different route to Jackman. So that's a bummer because it was pretty awesome back here. But we'll take it and see what we can do. Something idyllic about this road. Seems like something Robert Frost would have written about. I don't know, just the 2-track through the woods with the leaves and the color. Pretty cool. Big country. There's a waterfall right out there, or rock face, something right there. To look at the video later and see if I can tell what it is. I'm pretty impressed with Maine. It rivals some places out west. We are way back off grid. We're up near the Canadian border right now we're in the Passamaquoddy Indian Territory. And we're gonna pass through it here in just a little bit. We're gonna take a fork of the road that should take us back into a Maine Public Lands Trust. But this is wild country, very wild, and we are way back here. Hopefully we don't get any more trees down behind us blocking our way out. Could make for a very long day clearing trees. But really cool, really special place. And again, just didn't have any idea that any of this really existed. You never know until you get out and adventure. I'm rolling through a couple of little outpost towns here. I was able to find an alternative back road way over to the Jackman area. This is a little outpost town called Moose River, Maine. And there's some boggy areas around the actual Moose River, which I kind of think is where I'm heading to tonight. So this is this little outpost town. I'm hoping I can probably get some gasoline in Jackman. Yep, here we go. Welcome to Jackman. Kind of a cool little church right there. Yeah, so maybe I can get some gas in Jackman, and I actually need to probably refill water because I did not refill from that spring the other day because I went home a different route. So that's the tentative plan. It's getting late in the day, so I got to start looking for a campsite. Smile, you're in Jackman. That's what those signs say. Moose River Lodge and Motel. Oh, Scott and I are getting camp set up. We had a very long day in the truck. It was good in the sense that we covered a lot of four-wheel drive trails. But no matter how you cut it, it's a long day in the truck. I think we covered probably, had to be more than 80 miles of back roads and four-wheel drive trails to get over from Eustis to Jackman, Maine. And some of our gear's wet, so we got to kind of dry that out because of the rain last night and this morning. We had to clear a lot of trees. In fact, we were clearing a tree even just back down here. I just cleared so many I got tired of filming them. But we're going to set up camp and kind of get a plan. I got a little bit of a plan for dinner tonight. I've got some bratwurst that I think I may do. And I got to put some clothes on because after that rain came through, there's a cold front behind it and the temperature has dropped dramatically. It's 52 or 3 degrees right now. I think I'll probably see low 40s tonight, which is not terrible, but it's not t-shirt weather either. So, got to pull some of this stuff out. Oh, here's this Sven saw, S-V-E-N, that I was using to clear those trees. It's way faster than an axe, if you can see there. And it's nice because you can get both hands on it in a bow saw. And then, because hopefully, knock on wood, I'm not going to have any more down trees. Go ahead and take it down so you can kind of see that. I'd found this thing on a couple bushcraft channels and then decided to get one. So that comes apart like that. It slides through, I think, this way. And then your nut goes back on the end. And that's all that you have to pack away in a drawer. So it takes up no space. It's almost as fast as a chainsaw. A little bit more work than a chainsaw, but almost as fast. Way faster than an axe. Super sharp. Weighs maybe 1.5 pounds. Made out of aluminum. Pretty awesome tool. And it is so small that I literally just slide it in the side of my tool drawer there. And that's it. So we're going to clean up our bed and get it dusted off because it's got leaves and firewood, and feels like it's a little bit wet too. Get all that dried out, and then maybe I'll check back in with you when we start cooking dinner. Get some kindling batoned up. I think I'll do a fire right here. Now, oh man, yeah, this is more like the weather that I thought I was probably going to be seeing while I was here. It's markedly colder. What is it? Yeah, I think that should do it. We're not going to do a very big fire, although it is very wet because of all the rain. But we just need a fire big enough to throw off a little bit of warmth, a little bit of ambiance, and dry out a little bit of gear, namely Scott's sleeping bag. Managed to get wet somehow in all the day's gyrations, so we'll set it up there and let the just a little bit, let the infrared heat warm it up. All right, maybe tequila time. And then kind of start thinking about time to cook. So I'll check back with you in a little bit. That looks a little better. Alright, tonight I'm going to do some Johnsonville beer brats for no other reason other than the fact that I've been driving around thinking about them all day. I'm going to cook 3 of them, 2 for me, and 1 for you-know-who, Mr. Scout. And I think normally you would boil these in beer. We're not going to do all that tonight. We're going to just slow cook them here on the jet boil. And then later, maybe wrapping them in a tortilla with some cheese. Maybe just eat them like this. And then, very possibly later, do some black beans or some green lentils, or I've got some asparagus to kind of go along with them. But I've been thinking about these brats all day long, driving along, cutting trees out of the road. And so we're gonna have brats. Does that sound okay to you, Scout? I thought so. Scout's the boss, so whatever he says goes. We're gonna have a little La Familia. And watch our fire burn here. And see if we can get some animals to come see us tonight. Still don't know if I'm doing that right or not. Plan's starting to come together there. Scout's sleeping bag, as you can tell, is definitely starting to dry out. He's supervising. And the flame control on this Jackman Genesis, collapse this tripod here, is so good. There we go. Well, I'll get it right now. There we go. You just have fantastic control over your flame if you want to do a slow simmer. It has so much adjustability. Unlike Scout's attitude. His attitude only has one setting, which is sleepy most of the time, until he sees a stranger. This is what it looks like this way down from camp. That's the road we came in on. Some pretty color up here. Hopefully that microphone's picking me up. It's directional. Alright, I've cooked these down to a point. Now I've butterflied them and kind of finishing off the middle. Obviously, if you were going to boil them in beer or something, you wouldn't butterfly them, and they probably do technically lose a little bit of juice, but it's just a lot easier to cook them over a skillet doing this. And Scout's getting kind of ready. But I think our fire's going to need a little bit more attention. Good boy. Yes, you are. Yeah. Would you like your sausage? You like the sausages? What do you think? You like Maine? A lot of forest, huh? Yeah? You want to go look for some bears tomorrow? You want to move this? You don't like this? Turn it over. Sleep on that side of it. I think the bottom of this bed is wet. That one's drying out pretty good though. Whew. Man, it cooled off. I guess it's about 50 right now, but it's dropping pretty quick. Don't you think? Huh? Wanna lay down? I turned it over so it's warmer. Oh yeah. Such a big old beast. You old goat. Whoa. You like the cooler weather, don't you? Huh? Yeah? You like the cooler weather? Oh. You stick your paw in the air? That's awesome. Good boy. Somebody shot my dog. I was going to try to get some video of the moon here because it's super bright, but I can't for the life of me get it to focus. Clean the lens, play around with the settings, but the moon here is very bright, as you can tell there. I just can't get that aberration to go away, and I can get this to focus, I think. There's Scout. There's the Tundi. It must be some fog on the lens. It's very damp here. Got a little fire going. Scout's bed is pretty close to dried out. It's I don't know, getting close to 9 o'clock or so. We probably will go to bed here before too long and get up early tomorrow. Let's see if we can look around for big bears here in Maine. Hadn't been real successful at seeing big bears in Maine, even though it's the highest population in the lower 48 states. So that's our plan right now. We're just hanging out, enjoying the fire, the dark, and the moon, and probably Venus right there to the side of the moon. But I can't get to focus. But anyway, that's our story. Alright, Scout's crying here, but I wanted to show you something. So, because there's a lot of moisture in the air. Hopefully that'll show up on the camera. Turn my light on. It is 44 in the camper shell, if you can see that, 47 outdoors, and that's not uncommon when we get ready to go to bed at night. Let's stick that back up there. So what we're going to do is we're going to light our brass candle lantern here. I had a different candle lantern, but I just got the brass one because I'm obsessed with brass, and we're going to hang this up in the camper shell while we're sitting around the fire. This thing puts out about 1500 BTUs, and it'll begin to warm that camper shell. And I'll shoot a video a little bit later, right before we go to bed, of where we're at on temperature, but you'll see it start to come up. And this will typically maintain at least the camper shell itself, with Scout and I in there, we get about a 10 degree differential. So if it's 42 outside, it'll be 52 in the camper shell. And this is good for about another 7 degrees. So it's 42 outside, 52 in the camper shell. With this, we get up to about 59 or 60. So we'll see how that goes. We'll run a little experiment here. But hopefully Yeah, you can see that candle burning. So we'll see how that goes, and quasi-scientific experiment. By the way, Scout's really ready to get in the camper shell and go to bed. Not yet, it's not time. Lazy dog. Fat lazy dog. There, if you can see the candle up there, we'll move that pillow out of the way a little bit. That's where it sits. Sorry about the aberration on the top of the lens there, but it's really, really damp out here tonight. So that's what's causing that. Alright, Scott and I are in the camper shell. You can kind of see our breath. It's one of the lenses all foggy up at the top here. Scott's over there. Got the candle lantern going. It's starting to warm up in here. We're at 48. I think when I first shot it outside, we were at 46, so we went up 2 degrees. We've just laid down. If we wake up in the middle of the night, we'll update it again, but it's starting to warm up in here. So anyway, hope all you guys are well. Hope you enjoyed today. It was a long day. Lots of tree clearing, storms, but pretty cool adventure, and I'm pretty excited to see what tomorrow brings. So anyway, thanks for coming along for the ride, and we'll take you out again tomorrow. All right, Scott. Yeah. The lens is all foggy. It's very damp.